Today is yet another installment of the 10 worst bands ever. 10 more of the worst bands ever. You saw the first one. Some of you hated it. Some of you loved it. So here's part 2. Let's get going. This is part 2 of the worst bands ever. If you didn't see the first one, I'll link it right here. But I said things at the beginning of that like, you know, if you like any of these bands, well, I'll tell you why you're wrong and things like that. And that I'm here to enlighten you. And it really pissed some people off. So, you know, take it easy, people. It's a fun little video, right? It's just for entertainment. It's fun. It's stupid. Grain of salt. You got to take me with a grain of salt. Anyway. Number 1 on this list is Winger. Yes, I know. Rob Beach is a great guitar player. Kip Winger is apparently a good bass player, and they've got some shredders in the band. I fucking hate Winger. I've never liked Winger. 17 and Living on a Heartbreak or whatever it is, those songs are like, they are so incredibly cheesy, but they're not trying to be cheesy. That's the worst part. They're trying to be like cool and serious, and not 17. That's one of the worst songs ever written. You know, she's only 17. She's good enough for, well, I don't even know. It's about him fucking lusting after some 17-year-old girl, and the girl like goes after him and they hook up, and you know, the dad doesn't want it to happen, obviously, because she's a fucking minor, whatever. But that's what you're hanging your hat on. I don't care if you've got a bunch of shredders in your band. I don't care if, you know, whatever it is. I don't like Winger. I don't like the songs. I don't like the people in the band. I just don't like them. I don't like them. I don't like Winger. Okay. Ugh. The Offspring. I have never liked The Offspring. The vocal style is like nails on a chalkboard. Years ago, when I was in punk band still, before The Offspring got popular, they had, I think, 2 records out before Smash came out, which I think was the summer of '94. And that song came out with Come Out and Play, and it was like, I just couldn't believe what I was hearing. And still, like, all the songs off of that, like, I'm not a dweeb, Self-Esteem, or whatever that song is. I mean, I've never cared for him. I don't like him. Noodles with his, you know, the guitar player with like that, I don't know. I don't like him. The dude's apparently super smart, Dexter. He's like some physicist or something like that, some crazy background. I don't know what it is, but I don't know. I've never liked The Offspring. I think a lot of phenomenal drummers, after their first failure of a drummer, Ron Welty, who was terrible, I think they have absorbed all these drummers that have kind of gone into like, you know, it's like a black hole. The drummers that they've had, they really have to dumb it down to play in The Offspring, and it's kind of a waste of talent. Anyway, so is The Offspring. Well, I can't say they're talented. I fucking hate them. Oasis. This is from the comments of the first video. A lot of people hate Oasis. I am completely 100% indifferent on Oasis. I couldn't care less. If they played them on the radio, if they didn't, I don't think they have the worst songs in the world. I mean, they're not the fucking Beatles. I'm not a Beatles fan, but for someone to say, oh, we're better than the Beatles, that's from England, and they sound like the Beatles, and they kind of look like the Beatles, to come out and say, we're better than the Beatles, how fucking arrogant are you? And Liam is a fucking asshole. He is an asshole. Definition of an asshole is that dude. I don't like him. Musically, couldn't care less. This band, I don't hate this band. I dislike them. I don't like any of their music, but it's not like this disdain that I've had for other bands like Kiss and Gene Simmons and, you know, other band members. I just find this band, like, they're like college rock, like 80s college rock, 90s college rock, and just so incredibly mind-numbingly boring is Hootie and the Blowfish. I mean, next time they do a record, if they ever did a record again, I know he's a country singer now, I wish somebody would just take the time to fucking wake Darius up before he does his vocals. He's like, I don't know. I don't like him. I don't like it. I don't like it. This band, I do not get at all. Ghost. I don't get it. I don't get the hype. I get the costumes, you know. The music does not match it does not, the carpet doesn't match the drapes. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't match. Like you look at Ghost and you look at Papa, whatever his name is, Emeritus or whatever. He does not look how he sounds at all. First time I heard about Ghost was on That Metal Show, which I think it was a show on VH1 years ago, or VH1 Classic or something. And it was three dudes talking about metal bands, and they talked about their favorite records that had just come out. And this was years ago, and they had the first Ghost record, and it was like, the drawing of him hanging over the church like this, with the big fingers and everything. And it just looked like kind of like a horror movie kind of thing. I was like, well, it's probably pretty good. So you Google them, and you see the pictures of Papa Emeritus with the skull paint and the Pope outfit on, and you're like, that dude, he's got the two different colored eyes. One's like white, kind of like the Marilyn Manson kind of thing, and the other one's black, and he looks fucking scary. And then you hear him, and it's like this, like, I don't, and he's got this really like kind of voice. I thought I had the wrong band. Like picking up a milk jug that you think is full in the fridge, and it's only got that much milk left in it, and you go, bam! That's what it was like listening to Ghost for the first time. It was like the empty milk jug you thought was full. Not full. Okay? Empty, Ghost. I even saw them live once, open for Iron Maiden, and it was like, come on, hurry up. Twisted Sister. Wow. What a doozy they are, huh? With the hair and the makeup and, the cartoony videos with We're Not Gonna Take It and I Wanna Rock. I mean, oddly enough, I think that the origins of the lyrics of those songs are a lot more meaningful than what they turned them into and what people know or what people associate with those songs. I mean, they came from, both of those songs came from like him and his dad not getting along at all. Maybe it was his stepdad. I don't know. I think it was his dad. His dad did not approve of him being a rock star and him being in a glam band in the 70s. And like they fought like crazy and they did not get along. Those were his songs to his dad. But the feel of the song, it was like this cartoony, jokey kind of thing. I know they had some badass records that people say are a lot heavier. I've heard those records. I don't really care for them. Then the next record after Stay Hungry was they came out with Leader of the Pack. I don't know. They've just kind of always been to me kind of like a joke, kind of a commodity band. And I've never liked them. I don't like them now. I didn't then. I know there's people out there that love Twisted Sister because I included them in a video once they announced they were doing a world tour. And a lot of people got all pissed off about that in the comments. So sorry. I'm sorry. Twisted Sister, I don't like them, okay? We're not going to take it. I'm not going to take it, okay? Matchbox 20. I mean, I used to detest Matchbox 20. I've softened a little bit. I don't mind them as much anymore. When I say I don't mind them, it's not like if I hear them on the radio, I'm like, oh, okay, turn it up a little bit. No, I'm still turning that shit off. But before it was like, rage, when I heard Matchbox 20. Now it's like, whatever, just fucking turn that, please. But I don't know what it is about them. I think the song 3 a.m. For me sounds like a fucking grocery store commercial. I mean, doo-doo-doo-doo-doo, at Safeway, we only have the freshest produce. And there's an old lady walking around getting groceries and then sing a watermelon, lemon, pepper, grape, baby. It's 3 a.m. I must be lonely. Yeah, I don't like Matchbox 20 at all. Very pretty band. I have a friend that worked with them, and I know, he's got maybe different feelings about them. Sorry about that. But I love their sense of humor now. I've seen some people kind of make fun of them, and they've got a really good sense of humor. They laugh about it. So, I think they're kind of cool people. I really can't stand that music, especially that early first album stuff. Ugh, God. Def Leppard. Now, Def Leppard is one of those bands that I've never really hated as a band. As I said before, it was a band that was kind of like, you saw something on the sidewalk and it wasn't the most grotesque thing you've ever seen, but you're still walking around it, kind of thing, because you don't want to get too close to it. I just never liked them. They never hit any of the points for me. They stayed in this little circle, I just didn't like anything in that circle. I didn't like anything inside of it. Anything that they were doing. They were a massive band. Hysteria had like every single song on that record was a massive hit, and they played the shit out of that record for like 2 years, and got every single out of it. And it was a massive success. But I do not like them. I just don't like them. I mean, I never have. You know, they've always kind of been that band that was just there. I don't know. Very slick sounding. I don't know. I just don't like them. I don't like Def Leppard. Okay. Are they the worst band? No, they're not. I don't like them. Okay. Is that okay? Yes. Smash Mouth. I don't really know who does like Smash Mouth, and I've said that pretty much. There's always one band that I'm like, who the fuck likes these guys? You know, Smash Mouth to me, somebody once told me. I mean, yeah, Shrek grabbed onto it. I think it's fitting for that movie, but they are at best like B, C, or D celebrity movie where they're like the party band on a cruise ship. They're still Smash Mouth, and that's the only thing. They like show the close up of the singer, and he's going da 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 da, and then they do the slow pan away into the main characters, and then that's all you see from them. That's who Smash Mouth is to me. I don't know. They kind of went for this nostalgic 60s kind of sound in the 90s and the early 2000s, and I don't know. I mean, I know they had some recognition and they had some success with it, but I always thought that they were just like terribly boxed in, unoriginal, just kind of there, like that poolside in the D celebrity movie, you know, poolside band. I don't know. That's Smash Mouth to me. Anyway, last one. This one, I don't like this band. I never have. I thought maybe within my own head I was being overly critical of this band, and I was trying to find a lyric to one of their songs earlier today, and that's Megadeth, and the song was Peace Sells. That song to me, I remember when it came out, it kind of affected me how Chop Suey from System of a Down does. It just makes me laugh. What do you mean I don't pay my bills? What am I, broke? Huh? I mean, it just makes me laugh. Even in the early 80s when it came out, I just thought it was such a terrible song. I mean, what is that? You know, that's the same as a... To me, it's the same thing. It's like the same, they're like on the same level with that. The song itself, I just never understood why people gravitated towards Megadeth. I know they were early. They were one of the early, you know, thrash bands, and they were on the big four, and people love them. And Peace Sells, to me, was a fucking joke. I didn't like anything on that record. Rust in Peace is a masterpiece. That is the only record of theirs that I like. And I just did a video on that. So I'll link that up here somewhere. Of bands that I only like one of their records. Like these bands was like dozens of records, and I only like one of them. Megadeth is that band. I don't like anything else they've done. As much as they want to not admit it, they totally jumped on the Metallica bandwagon. I know. Did you know that Dave Mustaine was in Metallica? He talks about it here and there. But yeah, he was in Metallica. Weird, huh? But when they followed with Countdown to Extinction, exactly the path that most bands did when the Black Album came out. I don't know. Sweating bullets. I don't know. I don't like them. I don't like Megadeth. That's the only album that I like is Rust in Peace. Other than that, I think I'm glad that they're retiring. I'm glad that they're no longer going to be opening for Disturbed and other big bands to bow out their illustrious career. And that's it. So what do you think? Put it in the comments. Bring it on. Bring me the shit, because I know it's coming. And what do you want to see next? Let me know, and I'll put a video around it. All right. I'll see you later.